Good morning, class. My name is Garrett. I'm going to be teaching you fundamentals of design. This is going to be color and value, and I wanted to welcome you to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. Go to Brightspace, copy off the assignment. We're going to obviously have value and color that I'm going to explain. This is assignment 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to read this to you, but I'm going to explain it to you also. You can pull it up with me. Value is a term referring to the value of light. The more light, the higher the value. White is the highest of lightest value. Black is the lowest of darkest value. Value changes create contrast, which is needed to help us see and understand the two-dimensional image. Colors have value as well. Color is the particular wavelength of light seen by the eye when an object reflects or emits light. Yellow has the light high value, while violet has a low dark value. The 4 characteristics of color are hue, which is the name of the color, value, which is the light and darkness of the color, intensity, which is the saturation or amount of pigment, and temperature, which is warm and cold. Okay, with that said, let's start off with just your basic colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, turquoise, blue, purple, and violets. Okay? Those would just be the name of the color. So let's go back to that. What is that? That is going to be called the hue. So once it's red, it's called hue. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to add darkness to it or lightness to it. And that's what we have. If you add white, which is the brightest, then you're going to the red, then it's going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. It's called a tint. If you take, let's say, pure blue, and you add black to it, and it gets darker and darker and darker, that's called a shade. Everything bright is called a high key. Everything in right here, everything dark is called a low key in your images. Here we have the value scale, which is from the lightest to the darkest. And we're going to have value contrast, that's the same color gray in each square, but depending on what it's next to, it will look like a different color. Okay, so in this part, we've added the darkest, the black, and it gets back to the normal hue. But if you went and added white, like up in here, you would wind up with pink, baby yellow, baby blue. You understand? Okay. And you can go over that slowly at home. Okay. So remember in Module 2 when we did this one, the cardboard, and remember how we made the grid that matched this one, and that's how we transferred it over to here, and then we used all of our black and all the way from black to white. Okay, well now you know that is called the value contrast. This is the value contrast, okay, from white to black. So we're going to do that again. You know how to divide this up with your Sharpie so that you can see it, and with a pencil down here so that you can erase it. And then you're going to use either gray pencils, gray and black pencils. I just happen to have a bunch in my colored pencil group. Or, again, you can go ahead and use the graphite pencils that we've already talked about. And then you're going to finish this out. This whole thing must look as beautiful as this when you're finished. It's going to be good for you to understand how to draw glass, but it's also good to be mindful about this fundamental of design, which is the value. The value is from the dark to the white. Do a good job. Okay, we are about to do assignment number 2. You know how to make the grid, so I've already done that. And now we're going to work into, since it's value and color, a color picture using our colored pencils, which will be a lot of fun. Here's how I started this one. I did the grid, then I just did the bottoms of each one of these glass pieces. I looked at where the line was, how close they were between there and the bottom from the first line down. And then I came up, went like this with my pencil, went up and did the tops and tried to make them stagger like like they are. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is come down. This is the easy part. We're going to make the glass bottles. Make them the same on both sides. And look, these curve. These are curving up a slight bit, and these are curving down a slight bit. So we're going to try to, if they don't line up perfectly, then that's why we have an eraser, right? So once you get those done, I'm going to do a couple of these, and then we're going to use color. Let's just pretend that I did all of them. And at this point, I'm going to get rid of my grid so that it won't mess up my colors when I'm done. Okay, and now I'm going to erase the bottle to where I can barely see it so it won't mess with my colors with the graphite pencil. So now what you're going to do is you're going to look at your colors and you're going to say, all right, we're going to be adding blacks, okay, to the colors, or we're not adding much color, just a little yellow here, supposedly. So we are going to be doing what? Shading. Okay. All right, so you've already done the gray, and you know how to do that. I'm going to start off black on the side here. You know how to use your stub. You know how to go into the grays. So I'm just going to let you go with that, smooth it out, make it pretty. And now we're going to do this one. Okay, so you don't necessarily always just put one color out. I'm going to say there's a blend here between pinks and purples and black. Okay, because what are we doing again? Shading. So I'm going to start off with a purple. Give myself, where's the cap in? Ends right there. Okay, so I'm going to give myself some purple. It does have a nice dark line on the top. And now I'm going to blend with, to the other side of that white. Can you see this white? Keep it white. It has a little bit of lavender in it, but we'll come back on that in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to do our purples, kind of keeping it light, because you can always work up. When you're shading, you can always get darker, but it's really hard to go lighter. So notice that I'm not just making the entire thing one color. I'm really looking at it and see what is the, are we saying color? No, we're going to say hue. Now we're into fundamental design using hue. Okay, I'm going to stub that a little bit. See how it's getting some purple in there? I'm going to let that happen. It's pretty nice. Now I'm going to go back in with my pink. See how it's really pink here? So I'm going to leave that pretty light. When you do colored pencils, you want to blend. Just makes it so much prettier. I think I'm going to add some of this lighter pink in here just to give it another, what do we call it? Hue. Say those things to yourself, okay? And I'm going to go a little more pink. Oh, that's not pink, black. A little more pink. And I'm going to add some black. And that was really fun. I enjoyed doing that. Go ahead and do that all over to everything, and then you will be able to come back. You can either use your eraser to erase back whites if you want. You can also add more black to shade it if you want. But when it's all finished, I hope that you'll enjoy having all of these and the reflections coming down too. This will be a really fun color pencil. So notice that this side is more red when it does the orange with the pink, and this side becomes more brown with the orange and the blue. This one becomes green because blue and yellow make green. So really enjoy mixing your colors. You don't have to have the hugest assortment of colors, but please do a really good job on that. All right, we're about to do value and color assignment number 3. It's very similar to what you've just done in number 1, which is just the value contrast. And assignment 2 with the colors adding shade. Okay, so what you're going to do, this is art. And so we are going to, this was design, but this is fundamentals of design in artwork. So what I want you to do is draw in these lines with your graphite pencil, and then you're going to blend colors on this side, and you're going to do the shaded, the value scale on this side, and you're going to do that down here. And I hope you will enjoy doing that. And start and think about value and color, because you're going either lighter or darker, and you're either having color or no color. So this is the value scale side, and if you look at this one right here, where's the high key? The high key would be right here and right here and right here. The low key would be obviously over here where it's still green and dark blues and dark browns, but it's the low key or the high key. So think about those words. Think about all of these words when you're doing this drawing. All right, this is assignment number 4. It says 3, and I did fix that on the computer. So this is number 4. It's the same thing that you have been doing, except the colors are not going to be as, well, the hues are not going to be as bright, not as high key as we have done in the last assignment, 2 assignments. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw either him in this rectangle or her in this rectangle. You know how to divide things up, and you know how to do that in here. And then we're going to do the value scale here, and we're going to do the color there. So you can either do the whole thing in the grays and then add the color in, or you can do all this in gray in the value scale, and these hues, just straight hues that are just doling themselves out. So I look forward to see which one of these you would like to do. All right, you know how to do it. You're going to hang this on a wall. You're going to get all of the edges. You're going to take a nice photograph. You're going to submit them labeled and in order, right side up, and you're going to put them in submit homework here, module 3. Thank you for spending time with me to do module 3, which is fundamentals of design in color and value. I hope you've enjoyed using your colored pencils today. God bless you all and have a wonderful week.